Windows 8. Defender. Okay, we're going to discuss today Windows Defender. What is Defender? Defender is an application that comes pre-installed on Windows 8 that is designed to help protect your computer from some of the nasty malware on the internet. What is malware? It's just a short term to describe malicious software. Software that can cause everything from erasing your hard drive to causing pop-up windows when you're surfing the internet and causing all kinds of disturbances and just driving you crazy. I want you to see Defender because it's usually hidden, although we can get to it and look at it. And let's do that. To get to Defender, from the Start screen, right mouse click on the Start screen, select All Apps, scroll over to the far right under Windows System, and you'll see Windows Defender. Click on it. Now, for most of you who have antivirus and anti-malware software on your computer, especially in a Windows 7, you may be using Microsoft's Security Essentials, which is an antivirus software. This looks very, very similar to that, except that it is integrated into Defender. With Defender running, which it does, it runs constantly as long as the computer is on. It will scan in real time for anything that you're visiting, sites that you're visiting, or downloads or files that you're downloading, etc. Let's look at Windows Defender. This is the opening screen. We have several tabs. It defaults to the Home tab, and it shows you the condition of Windows Defender. In this case, the real-time protection is on, and the Windows virus definitions are up to date. Now, definitions for viruses and spyware are searched and developed by companies that provide antivirus software, including Microsoft. But these are changing. They're constantly changing, and they have to be up and make sure that their software constantly changes with these signatures or definitions. And so they have to provide you the updates. In the case of Windows Defender, this is done usually through Windows Update function. On the right side of the screen, you see the scan options. It defaults to the quick scan, which in many cases is all you have to do. You don't have to go any further than this. Leave it alone. But you can select a full scan. Full scan will scan every single file on your computer. If you have a very large hard drive with multi-thousands of files on your hard drive, it's going to take a while. I would leave this alone unless you really are directed to do so, or if you think you have something that Defender might have missed. Custom is for customizing Defender on selected areas of your computer or selected drives on your computer. I would not use that. Let's go to the Update tab. Again, it gives you definitions. It updates them automatically. Normally, you do not have to do this. There may be times, though, when Defender is offline because your computer is offline and it's outdated. And when that happens and you turn on your computer after a few days, you may get a message on the screen telling you that Defender definitions are outdated. Please update. And then go ahead and do just that. You just click on the button for update, and it'll do it automatically for you. Under the next tab, History, it shows you what Defender will do when it finds suspicious files. It will quarantine them. That's by default. That simply means that if Defender takes a file that it suspects is a malware or spyware file, it will move it off to a reserved area hidden from you and from the rest of the operating system. This is designed so that you can go back in if it accidentally grabs the wrong file and at least restore it. Very rarely does that happen. You can also allow items. I would not use this, nor would I use the second one, allow detected items. These are required for people who know and can go further in detecting malware, spyware files, usually the technical people. I would leave it at quarantine as the basic setting. Go to the Settings tab, and we have other things that we look at here. One is, on the left-hand side, you have real-time protection, and you can exclude files and locations. You can exclude file types, processes, and then you have an advanced tab, this MAPS, and we'll talk about that shortly, and of course the administrator. In the real-time protection, the default is a checkbox. Turn on real-time protection. It says recommended. This is the way it comes. Do not change it. In the case of the excluded files and locations, file types, excluded processes, do not touch any of these. It is recommended highly that unless you know where to go looking and what to exclude, you don't want to go in and change anything here. If you do, Defender's going to exclude it. It will not even look at it. And if you make a mistake by grabbing the wrong file and excluding it, and that happens to be a malware file, you've just defeated the purpose of having Defender. We're going to skip advanced for a moment. We're going to go to this MAPS. MAPS is just Microsoft's Active Protection Service. Basically, they want to know what you know when it comes to viruses, spyware, or malware, or any other type of nasties that you get off the internet. By default, it selects I do not want to join MAPS. The other selections are something called a basic membership, an advanced membership. And at the very bottom, of course, there's a privacy statement. When you see a privacy statement, that means there is a potential, if not active, communication between the software and home. Home being where the software originates, in this case, Microsoft. Many people feel that they have enough violation of their privacy, although this is a non-privacy issue. This is strictly collecting raw data about these files. But it defaults to I don't want to join. Leave it alone. It's not going to hurt anything, and it will not phone home with any data from your computer. Again, this is not personal data, though. Let's go to Administrator. And basically, if you're the administrator of the computer, you can turn on or turn off Windows Defender. By default, obviously, it's turned on. Do not change this. Finally, let's go to Advanced. Under Advanced, the default is Scan Archived Files. Now, these are compressed files, usually produced by certain programs, software packages, etc., including Windows itself. This is by default. Leave it on. We're going to skip down to the very bottom. Remove quarantine files after 3 months. If you don't have any problems after quarantining a file or files, after 3 months, it will delete those files and give you reserve more space on your computer. You'll have it back. I select that you look at number 2, Scan Removable Drives. These are like little USB drives that you can plug into the USB port. If you take it to work and you come home and you plug it into your computer, it will not scan it unless you check this. We want to check this for that particular function. Why? How do you know what you're bringing home? Conversely, how do you know what you're taking away back to work? You want to be able to scan that. So I would scan removable drive. Check it. Next, create a system restore point. In a future video, we'll be talking about Windows restore points. Basically, these are the settings that Windows uses upon boot up. Whenever there are changes, it is sometimes best to make a restore point of those settings prior to making that change. That's the case here. I would recommend, now this does increase a little bit more time that Defender has to do its thing because it has to make this restore point. But I would check it. I think that's a good thing to do. The next box, allow all users to view full history. No, that's not really necessary, and I would leave that alone. Now, since we've made changes, we have to save those changes. So to the bottom right of the screen, select Save Changes. That's it. We're done. That's Defender. And hopefully it will defend your computer against nasties. But one other thing before we leave. How do we know Defender is working? Well, usually anti-spyware software says, I know I'm working if I can pick up something and show it to you. But are you going to wait and see till that time comes, or do you want to at least get an idea whether Defender is actually monitoring like it says? And this goes for all antivirus software. Well, there is a website, and I'm going to call that website up now. It is from the European expert group for IT security. Basically, what they have is a test file. And you can download this test file, and it will be scanned. In the case of Defender, it scans it in real time. Not only does it scan it in real time, it'll scan it as it's downloading. We scroll down a little bit, and here are some of the test files. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let me just move this screen over a little bit. I'm going to select this particular file. It doesn't matter. I'm going to select them all. You'll notice it has a ZIP extension. Basically, that just simply means that the file is compressed. But let's select it for download by clicking on it. Down below, it says saving, open, or save. But also notice up here, we have a notification, malware detected. That tells me Windows Defender saw this as it's coming down, identified it as malware, and is letting you know. Is it really malware? No, it's just a test file from a reliable source. This tells us whether our antivirus software is working. This particular website is also valuable for any other type of antivirus software. In the case of Windows 8, if you want a different antivirus software from one of the many that are out there, and they're all pretty much good, they really are, then if you download it and install it, which we will not cover, Windows Defender will be turned off. You should not have 2 or more antivirus software programs running simultaneously. Well, that's it on Defender, and I hope you'll be back again. Please visit our website at www.thetechnologycloset.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel while you're there. Until next time.